You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
And welcome back to the program. Joining me now, Justice Karen Baker of the Arkansas Supreme Court. Always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes, and you are a candidate for Chief Justice as well. You have announced already.
Yes.
We will talk about that as we go along. So let's see, when did you first join the Arkansas Supreme Court? You've been there since
I was elected in 2010.
2010, all right. So you got to serve with the late Robin Wynn,
Yes.
who passed away, unfortunately, recently, but I'm sure that, there's just no way that you guys aren't collegial on that court up there. What did Robin Wynn, what kind of relationship did you guys have?
No, it was great, and I'm going to miss Robin a lot. But, and the court will miss him.
Yeah.
The court will miss him.
Yeah, he's a good guy for sure. So I think everybody's paid some great tributes to him, and you have a new colleague now on the court there. Cody Highland has
Yes.
been appointed to replace him. I think you were telling me you bought some furniture from Cody Highland before.
Right,
You have to tell that story.
Well, when I first went on the bench, the previous judge's furniture had all been his own, and it was all moved out, and so I had to get a new desk, and I went shopping in Conway, and Cody was selling furniture at that time.
All right. Well, hey, those judges, they got to start their way, they got to start somewhere and work their way up there. So also, too, I just want to kind of clear the air on this. Right now, the Arkansas Supreme Court is considering a ruling on the Learns Act, which has been appealed from a Pulaski County judge's decision. You cannot talk about that. I want people to understand why justices cannot talk about that, because I will get asked, why didn't you ask her about it? And I will say, well, here's why. But why do justices have to be silent on these issues before you?
Right. It's really important that we not discuss it before we get into conference, and it's really important that we not discuss results until they come down, because we don't want to give the impression that we've pre-decided anything. And it's as much for the appearance as anything, because we've been reading Learns Act briefs for a while now.
Yeah.
So, but case is not decided.
Yeah, I think Attorney General Tim Griffin asked for it to be expedited this week, and you guys
Yes.
are going to do that.
Yes, we're granted that in a briefing schedule. So,
does that give you any kind of idea of the timeline that we might be on, or is it still just when we decide, we will let you know that we've decided?
you can get a little bit of an idea of when it will likely be submitted to the court because of the briefing schedule, but other than that, no.
All right, fair enough. I just wanted to make sure that people that are watching understand that. All right, you're running for Chief Justice of the
Yes.
Arkansas Supreme Court. You just were recently reelected,
I was, yes.
So why do you
Starting in an 8-year term
Yes.
right now. yeah.
Why do you want to be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court?
Well, I think our court is in transition at the moment, and every time, this will be a transition for the court, every time you add another person to the mix or add 2 to the mix, the court, it takes a while to adjust. But we do,
Yeah.
and we go on. So we're in transition, and we are a terribly young court compared to other courts across the country. And I think that I have the most, I know that I have the most experience. I have 30 years on the bench, almost 30. And so I think that I am the person to help the court through this transition.
Yeah. And just, I guess, explain a little bit about what the Chief Justice duties are. What do you do? What would you do as Chief Justice if you're elected that would be different than just being an Associate Justice on the court?
Well, the Chief Justice is more involved in administration and working with the AOC and how they are working throughout the counties. And of course, we have meetings for the district judges and the circuit judges throughout the state twice a year.
I was in at the Arkansas Bar Association in Hot Springs a couple of weeks ago. I got to watch Chief Justice Kemp give his State of the Judiciary speech there.
Yes.
He seems to think that the state of the judiciary is pretty strong. Would you agree with him?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I think it is.
You really kind of ghost wrote that whole thing for him, didn't you? So I'm just kidding.
No, I didn't.
All right, we got to wrap it up there. Justice Karen Baker, she's running for Chief Justice of the Arkansas Supreme Court. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back with final thoughts right after this.